All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm not allowed to say what number episode this is. Root Beer won't let me, but welcome back to another one. Everybody Needs a Nudge. I have a guest today that I've known for a long time and has known my family for a long time, Kristen Dailey from Success Real Estate. She will come with her own crowd of listeners, so we should double our listeners.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of pressure on her. She's very nervous, everybody, so hopefully she does just fine. It took me like a week to convince her to come on, and then I changed the date and the time on her.
It's all right.
She's going to survive?
She'll be fine.
All right.
Not a big deal. I'm just having a graduation party and everything else.
Who's graduating?
Nora.
Oh, you got to talk into the mic.
Oh, sorry. All right, Nora.
Nora's graduating?
She did.
When's the party?
Friday. Want to come?
Yeah. Is that my invite? Because it didn't come in the mail.
It's been a text. We threw it together last week.
Okay. All right. So next Friday, this Friday, like 2 days? In Hanover?
In Hanover.
Big pool party. Beautiful pool at the house.
Yeah, we got a band and everything.
Really? Who's the
I
band?
can really throw together a party.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Who's the band?
Doug Gavoni, the Rippers. He actually works for Success.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The Rippers.
The Rippers.
The official band of Everybody Needs a Nudge. The Rippers.
He's the sponsor.
So he's the spot. So if I come, can you like put me on the billing? Like
Yeah.
Everybody Needs a Nudge host, Dan Nigerian will be there.
Yeah, I'll send you the bill for the party.
No, you're not sending me the bill.
Put you on the T-shirt.
Put me on the T-shirt. One thing we missed, and I'll get into corrections, but one thing we missed from last week, Dan Callista's young son, Luke, who we call the Duke, didn't get a shout out. So a little shout out to Luke the Duke. He's like little Teddy Kennedy of the Callista family. All the chicks love him. His hair's perfect. He's handsome. He can talk to everybody. He's like 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know how old he is. Luke the Duke. I call him Teddy Kennedy.
That's not a skill you can teach.
No, and he has it.
Yeah.
And he has it. His father's a pretty charismatic guy too. But the Duke's gonna kill it in life. He is.
He's going places.
Going places. Doesn't have a care in the world. Baseball team won their first game. Hank's baseball team won their first game on Friday night.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Huge.
11-year-olds are killing it.
Killing it. Finally gonna win.
It's their first win.
Yes.
Oh, not the first game.
No. First win of the year. And we told a little story last week about the pitcher that was doing LSD.
Explain yourself.
Yeah. They didn't take LSD to win the game. So there was a story, a pitcher of 1970 that won.
I think I heard that.
Yeah. Oh, you listened.
Yeah,
Oh my God, we have listeners.
Nice.
Amazing. That's unbelievable. All right. So now Kristen Dailey's favorite segment of the show and Dan Callista's favorite segment of the show, fast becoming the audience's favorite segment. This is Corrections, brought to you by the Rippers. The Rippers, the band of choice for Kristen Dailey's parties. So first one, I used the word misremembered. That wasn't a president. That was Roger Clemens. Remember that? He
misremembered.
Yeah. Andy Pettit said that he saw Roger Clemens doing steroids, and Roger said he must have misremembered. So that's where that comes from.
Is that a word?
That was the argument back then. I think it has since become a word. You know how like the dictionary like adds words. I think they added misremembered as a word. There was a big argument whether it was a word or it wasn't a word, and I think they landed on it was a word. What do you think, Rupa?
I'm going to vote it was a word.
Yeah. I never used it or heard it before that. Did you?
I don't know.
Misremembered.
I say a lot of wrong words. It's fine.
Yeah, so I don't. You know what? I actually have a terrible habit of like correcting people, like in public when they use the wrong word.
Immediately.
Yeah, like I don't even give like the word. It's barely off their lips. I'm like, nope, wrong word.
It's so true.
Oh my God! And then people get mad at me for doing it because I make them look like they're idiots. But you got to have command of the English language, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
You just don't need a friend there pointing it out to the other people that you're talking to that you are actually an idiot.
A round table.
Right.
And you're correcting the grammar across the table.
No wonder why I have no friends. It's so obvious when you really break it down. Remember Abraham Lincoln? We talked about Abraham Lincoln. So I found it online and I want to pull it up. All of his failures that he went through. It's amazing. So, are you ready? In 1832, he lost his job. He ran for legislature in 32, got defeated, failed in business. His sweetheart died in 1935. He had a nervous breakdown in 36. He lost his run for speaker in 38. He lost his run for Congress in 43. He finally got elected to Congress. Then he lost in 48 again. He tried to become a land officer. I don't even know what that is, but he didn't get that. He lost his Senate election in 54. He tried to run for vice president in 56. He lost. In 58, he ran for Senate again, and he lost. And then in 1960, he was elected president.
Jeez.
Right? Talk about you just keep getting up.
Oh, he lost his sweetheart?
Yeah, that's the one that root beer hangs on. Right? Poor bastard's professional career is an utter disaster, and all you can think about is the fact that
But how old was he?
I don't know when he was born. What? Can you Google that? So 1932, he lost his job. We don't know what job it was, but I mean, figure he's 30 then, right? I mean, that's a lot of losses. But Abraham Lincoln kept getting up, everybody. So if there's a message today, everybody keep getting up, because Abe the Babe did it.
1809.
1809 he was born?
February 12th.
So he was 40 at that.
1809, his sweetheart died in 1835.
Oh.
So
I was thinking 1935. Like
what's
he was
that?
still around then. Gosh.
What's that make him? 35 minus 9 makes him 26 years old.
Oh,
I know.
you delete
Then he
that
had a
bad
nervous
math.
breakdown. Then he had a nervous breakdown right after that. He would never get elected now.
Too soft?
No, just like he kept losing and losing and losing. Eventually, he's got to go, I don't know.
I don't know. I really feel like pretty much anyone can get elected now.
Really?
You want to go down that road today?
No, we're not. We don't talk about politics,
No,
religion,
very good.
or sexual preference on this show.
Very good.
We stay away from that stuff. We're a very light show.
When did we go to root beer? I heard in the beginning it was somebody's name already had the same name as you on something.
Yeah. So
Is that what we
she's
came up
Amy. She's Amy Walsh.
Yeah.
So everybody that's a Walsh is Walshy.
Walshy.
Yeah. But she's A&W. So she's root beer.
Oh, I love that's cute.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You remember the A&W root beer place on
it's still there, isn't it?
no,
Actually, I
which
haven't
one?
been down that. The one in like Dennis. So.
No, there was one in Marshfield,
Oh.
right by the
yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts.
No,
on
that's definitely gone.
yeah, gone.
The one in the Cape, I think, might still be there.
So root beer. Root beer is wearing her favorite outfit today, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny. So we were laughing before the show, but I was actually in my closet today picking out a pair of pants, and I realized two things. One, the podcast is influencing the clothing that I wear, and two, I wear two pairs of pants.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are the same pants as the last time I saw you.
I wear.
They're all from Lululemon.
These are actually FootJoy. I have 50 pairs of pants. I wear 2 of them. That's it.
I have an entire closet full of clothes. I wear 4 things.
So is that everybody? So that's men and women then.
I think it's I would say 75% of my clothes in the closet no longer fit. So we're hoping to get back.
So they're not even a choice. They're not even a choice. Like there's a whole section, right? And they're all in there like, wear me. Like, hey, sorry, buddy. I'm gonna wear the same pants that I wore yesterday and hope nobody notices. Jeans, I feel like you can do that.
Yeah, I have a lot of jeans.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, so to your point, that's your once a week outfit right there, right?
Right?
I only wear 2 pairs of pants. I have these and a gray pair. And I remember looking at the video and I wore the gray pants the last time. I'm like, well, I can't wear the same pants because I'm on television now. I'm part of the, I'm out there.
We're on television.
We're on TV. So we talked about, what's the other correction? The other correction is Doc Brown was the name of the guy from Back to the Future. And I think those are the only 2 corrections. That's it for corrections today.
Why are we talking about Doc Brown?
Because Dan Callista, why were we talking about Doc Brown? Something to do with Dan and his many jobs. And
You know what? Never mind. We'll just go back and listen to the other.
yeah, that's right. You can go back because that one's sponsored by Pour,
Okay.
and this one is sponsored by the Rippers.
I love Pour.
So everybody says they love Pour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's popping up all over the place.
Well, he keeps getting, he's a great story. But anyway, he keeps opening them up. So my last 2 things, and then we'll get into Kristen Dailey, who I've known. Kristen, how long have we known each other? We're going to talk about Bunko. We got so much stuff to talk about. It's crazy.
I'm an unofficial Nigerian.
She is a more of an O'Connell, like married into the family.
Yeah. Yeah, on the girls' side.
Yeah, you're on the girl side.
I'm on the girls' side. I don't know exactly when.
2009-ish, right? 8,
Yeah,
9.
I'm trying to think of when Nora was born. So she was born in 04. So yeah, maybe like somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I saw 2 movie clips, and I want to give a plugs to my favorite movies. My Cousin Vinny,
Danny loves that.
unbelievable movie, and A Bronx Tale.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
So I was talking to a guy that I play golf with, and he was talking about how somebody owes him some money, but he doesn't really like him. So, and I'm like, well, that's The Bronx Tale. Do you remember that scene? There's a scene where the kid, C, is running across the street. He's chasing a kid. He sees a friend of his that owes him $20. And who played Chad? What's the guy's name? Chad
Palminteri.
Palminteri?
Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Something like that. Well, that'll be in the corrections for next week.
Yeah. And C has a crazy name.
Cologano or something.
Yeah.
Again, corrections. So C is on the street. He sees this kid get off the bus, or he's getting off the bus, whatever it is, and the kid owes him $20, and he starts chasing him. Give me my $20, and the kid's avoiding him. Oh, my grandmother's sick. I gotta go see my grandmother. I got a place to be, and comes over and he's talking to Chad, who plays the gangster, or Chaz, who plays the gangster, and Chaz, I'm paraphrasing now, but essentially says, do you like that kid? And C says, nah, not really. He says, well, for $20, he's out of your life. He'll never talk to you again. You never see you again. He'll avoid you for the rest of your life for $20. He's like, you got off easy. So that's what I told my friend. So that reminded me of The Bronx Tale, which is a great movie, as is My Cousin Vinny. My Cousin Vinny, they showed me that movie at my training when I was in the Middlesex District Attorney's office as the proper way to do a cross-examination. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. When who the hell's the actor? Oh my goodness.
The little guy.
Yeah. Who's the actor? Who's the main character in My Cousin Vinny?
It's Marissa Tomei. And
Oh, she's incredible. She won a supporting actress for that role. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I can't think of his name.
He's
but
another one of the little gangsters.
yeah, he's in all the movies.
Yeah.
What the hell is his name?
I have the worst memory.
Not Al Pacino.
Joe Pesci?
Joe Pesci. Jeez, I should know that. It's terrible. 46 years old. It's already starting to go. I got a lot of things on my mind. I'm trying to run a podcast. Jesus
not easy being
Christ.
you.
It's not. It's hard. Try it someday.
Wait till you try to
Celebrity's not for
ask me.
everyone.
Yeah, celebrity's not for everybody. I mean, I can't even walk down the street anymore. Everybody needs a nudge. Hey, how you guys, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, girls hooting at me from cars. It's amazing. That's why I have her on the show right there. See that?
She thinks she's funny.
Hysterical. Yeah, easy audience. Like my sister Doris. Same idea. And we're gonna table the Z mail. Dan Clifton wanted me to talk about Z mail, but I'm not ready to do that challenge. We'll talk about that next one. So Kristen Dailey's been with Success Real Estate for how long?
Oh gosh, such hard questions. Probably 16 years.
Okay. So how long have you been in the real estate as a real estate agent? Got to start as an agent, then you become a broker.
I think about almost 18.
18 years.
Yeah.
So where did it all begin? In Wareham.
Oh, don't start.
That's where it all began, right?
No, here in Wareham. No. Well, for me originally.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's where you grew
We
up.
want to go all the way back.
Yeah. Oh, we're going. We go.
all right.
Listen to me. We go all the way back. We want to cover the nudges that led you to get out of Wareham. You know, go to college if you went, then go on to your incredibly lucrative career that allows you to throw ripping parties for graduation. That's what I want to know. That's it in a nutshell. So Wareham.
Oh,
Who lived in Wareham with you? Who was in Wareham?
I lived in Wareham with my mom, my brother, my stepfather, my stepsister and brother, and then
That's a lot of people.
didn't go to college.
Hold on. What did you do? Hold on.
What?
Slow down. Slow down. Did you play sports in high school?
Do I look like I played sports in high school? No. I played field hockey for like 1 or 2 years.
And that was the end of
It's
it?
like a big commitment.
So too big of a commitment. It was getting in the way of my partying.
I was the,
You don't have the ability to throw incredible graduation parties unless you went to a ton of graduation parties.
I had to, I wanted to be the goalies because the goalie only had to run around the track once instead of 4 times with your pad
That's
on.
the little nudge. How did you become a field hockey goalie? Laziness.
I caught on quick.
That was yeah. You assess the situation as you usually do. You assess the situation and figure out.
You know me. I'm a big picture person.
Yeah, you are a big picture person. No question about that. So no sports. What were your interests in high school?
I worked a lot.
You did.
Yeah.
So another worker here,
Always a worker.
right? So now you're the second. So Dan Callisto was a big worker in high school. What were your jobs?
I worked in restaurants when I wanted to go tanning. I worked at the tanning salon.
Again, work a big picture, right? That's a big picture play right there.
And I could go for free.
Right.
Yep.
So you got your tanning for
Got
free.
my tanning for free.
Looked incredible for the graduation parties.
I used to be so tan. When I was going to the senior prom, I went to New Bedford. That's closer, and that's where they had all the dresses. Fall River, maybe it was Fall River. And the woman was taking it in, and she was speaking to me in, I don't know what.
Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish, Portuguese. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. And my mom's like, you're so dark. She thinks that you're Portuguese. I'm like, I'm just tan.
I'm Irish.
That. Yeah.
So I don't understand what you're
I'm
saying.
now one big freckle, actually.
You're not still tanning.
No.
It's bad for you.
So bad. I never even laid in the, after that, I never even laid in the sun until I was like 40.
Because you were worried.
These wrinkles, yeah.
I know.
They
I have
come
those
anyway.
too. Those are the wrinkles of a wise man, though.
Okay.
What are they called? Spider webs? What are they called? There's something, right? Off your crow's feet. Yeah, crow's feet. We would have had to bring that to next week, but we just did the correction section.
Because you're with two females.
Right. You're right. You just saved me some time. I know.
Get
Two
some
females.
Botox in there and lighten them up a little bit.
I think that
Bro talks.
Botox, yeah.
bro
It's
talk.
called-
That's a thing.
Yeah. You guys can never stay out of it. Now, pedicure, as my son loves a pedicure.
So my business partner gets manis and pedis all the time. Yeah, I'm like, that's weird.
It's relaxing.
That's what he says. He's not really there to make his toes look good, but he just likes people rubbing his feet.
I'm so busy. Look at my toes.
Oh, put those on camera. Oh my God. This thing just went from a podcast to a horror show.
Horror show. They need to get done before the party. I don't
Yeah,
know
they
what
do. Otherwise, they're wearing closed-toed shoes. See that? That's pretty good from a bro talker.
Yeah.
Although I don't bro talks. All right, so no sports at Wareham High. What do you call Wareham High?
Well, my husband says when we moved down, he went down to visit when we were dating. He calls it "Where am I?"
Instead of Wareham High, where am I?
He's fresh.
He is.
I loved it there.
He's a
Great.
great Dan Dailey's a great person. Coaches at hockey coach at Hanover High. They just won a state title. Again. Yeah. I think that was like their third.
Yeah.
Right. That's what that was about.
I thought that was
No,
a
I'm not
win.
flashing like some Hanover gang sign. No.
That was a win.
What's up, Hanover? So Wareham High.
Yep.
Where am I?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to college.
Nope.
No college.
Mm-mm.
Okay. What
Well, so my whole life I wanted to be a hairdresser.
really? You're tanning. You can do the hair.
Typical. And then I decided I didn't want to do that. And
Why did you decide not to do it?
I don't really remember why. And then I moved to Braintree. I had to get out.
You had to get out
All
of
my
Wareham.
friends went off to college and wasn't anywhere anyone needed to be. Not in
Wareham
school.
wasn't. Not in school.
It wasn't. I had a party at my house and somebody stole my stepfather's speakers off the back of the house.
That was the end of that.
I was like, Dad, I'm moving to Braintree.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Coming to Braintree with you.
Were they nice speakers?
Yeah, you just put them in there
Uh-oh.
like bows.
Oh my God. How pissed would you be?
He was not happy yet. I was like,
Did you have you since replaced the speakers?
no, but that's a really good.
You know, you should put that on your Christmas list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
yeah, get
You
them some
got that?
speakers.
Bows are nice.
I know.
But you
They were nice.
you don't even need. So remember when I digress, but you've been in real estate for 18 years, right? You go to all these houses and everybody's got the sound system in the wall. You don't even need that anymore.
Oh, I know. I love when people are like, I have a $40,000 wired sound system. Like, no one cares.
Yeah, they're just going to use their Sonos in their phone, right? It's crazy. You don't even need all that anymore. And I remember when I renovated my house back in 2005, that was like a big thing for me. I'm like, I want to make sure there's speakers everywhere.
Right. My room above my garage that we finished the speaker wire is still hanging out
Still hanging out of the wall.
with no speakers.
Yeah, because you don't need them.
Very shortly thereafter, that was over.
You're better off just plastering them up. I'll put a cap on it and,
Yeah.
and be done with it. All right, so you moved to Braintree by yourself?
No, my parents were divorced when I was young. We're all one big happy family. But yeah.
As we all are.
Yeah. And I moved to Braintree and started waitressing, and finally my dad was like, you need to get a real job.
So there was the little
This is gonna
nudge.
do this. Yeah.
You can't waitress for the rest of your
No.
life.
So I called my cousin who had just started working at Putnam Investments, and I said, can you get me what my dad calls a real job? She was like, sure. That was when they were hiring. Everybody you knew worked at Putnam.
Right.
Remember?
Putnam
State
Investments,
Street,
State Street and Putnam Investments.
Yeah.
They were literally hiring.
everybody.
Yeah, if you had a heartbeat, you could get a job there.
Yeah. But I remember my first offer letter. It was like $19,500. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Big money. What year is that?
Probably like 94.
And they
95?
hired you no post grad
yeah.
education, no college degree, no nothing. So I have a cousin, Chuck Hamilton, who lives out he's in O'Connell. Have you ever met Chucky?
He's my cousin Chucky. No, I hear about my cousin Chucky all the time.
Yeah,
I
my
haven't
cousin
met him.
Chucky, my cousin. So Kristen is very good friends with my two sisters and one of my cousins.
Yeah.
Who I saw on Monday night. She was down. They rented a house down.
I know it. I've been dying to get there, but I had to do a podcast.
Yeah. You can go there after. You can tell them all about the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm
No, she'll be. Is she asking to come
I'm
on?
persona non grata down there right now. You can ask them about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Those things happen. Family. So anyway, my cousin Chucky, same thing, got hired, I think, by Putnam Investments with no college education, and
Off they went.
Off they went. So how long did you work at Putnam?
Long time.
Yep. You knew what this podcast was about, right?
Well,
You knew like we were going to ask questions about your life.
you really could have
You
given me
should've-
like a play-by-play. I wasn't sure.
We're going to ask you about your life.
I know,
Okay,
but
let
I
me
wanna-
think about my life a
I
little bit.
wanna
Let me
s-
have
well,
some.
you're asking me like years, and these things just elude.
Close enough. Just
right,
20,
close enough.
6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years.
Maybe like 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a long time.
I think I am like.
And then what happens?
How old am I?
What were you
now?
doing there?
No, it must not have been 8. Maybe it was like 5. I don't know what I did, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I was working from home. That was when like it was not widely accepted by a lot of people.
Yeah, how did you swing that?
It was something they were trying out. I'm not sure. And then
What years was that?
stop asking me these questions.
Well, what year did you start?
All
We'll
right,
add 5
okay,
to
this
that.
is how I remember. I had Donovan home with me, so he was a baby. So he was born in 2000.
Okay.
And sometimes I'd have to be on a call, and he was supposed to be in daycare, but he'd roll on the floor and like crack his head on the floor. I'd have to hang up the call. We were really juggling things.
Yeah.
So that
Living
was
in
probably
Braintree
like
at this time?
2001. Yep, living in Braintree, probably like 01 when I was working from home. And then my boss is this great guy, Larry, and we were good friends. And he called one day and he said, I'm leaving. He wasn't my direct boss. He was my boss's boss. He's like, and just letting you know, as soon as I leave here, your direct boss wants you in the office.
I want you to come in and work. So Larry was the guy that let you work from home.
Yeah. And I was home 5 days. I had Clorox was my like big client. And then as soon as he was gone, she was like, "Can you come in and meet?" I was like, "Yep."
If you're watching on radio, the eye roll there was incredible. Like Olympic. If there was an event, an eye rolling event in the Olympics, she'd be the gold medal winner right there.
Yeah.
You could hear the eye
Yeah.
roll.
Did you hear that? Yeah.
You could hear it.
So I went in and she had all these like new rules laid out. And as the meeting didn't go so great, and then
Because you were like, I'm not following any of those.
I was
and
like-
pushed them back across the table.
it was ridiculous. And then she walked out we walked out, and I happened to be behind her, and she was commenting on how I was a bit of a bee. And I was like, I went home, I said, I'm
For
quitting.
those that don't know, that means bitch.
Yeah, all right, I wasn't sure what we can
We
say.
can, but
All right.
we try to. Like I was trying to explain to my viewers, so that's different.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just went home and I said, I can't work there anymore. I quit. Not driving. They had moved to Norwood. I wasn't driving all the way out to Norwood.
You weren't driving to the end of your driveway. So,
Exactly.
okay. I'm not getting in my car for that job, so I quit.
Like, just like every other red-blooded American gets up and drives to work every day.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm going tanning, okay?
Yeah. So that was that.
And then what happens?
And then,
So the nudge was that other bee across the table from you
yeah.
being like,
Yeah,
you got to
just like-
actually come to work, sister.
It's not like I don't like to work. I'm a hard
No, you are a worker. I will say that. We'll get into that and,
Yeah.
and sort of our work interactions, which turned into a friendship. But she is a worker. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Realtor plus.
And
That's
then
what I
at the
call
time, everybody was like, I used to, instead of going to the grocery store, I'd go to the grocery store and then I'd go to every open house in town. I
Oh,
was,
so you were just
obsessed
like,
with it.
you were just going to open houses.
Yeah, I always was looking at
Walking in
houses.
realty, like, hi, Kristen. Ugh. She's back. She's not a real buyer.
She's not a buyer. She's just
Not a
nosy.
buyer.
She
Yeah, we had
nosy.
like 3 people come through, but one is definitely not a buyer.
No, she's just the nosy person that comes around town. Yep. And then I don't know why. I got my real estate license and then my husband was doing mortgages at the time, actually.
Okay.
So that was helpful.
Got it. So that's a little nudge you
Yeah.
needed because he was in the business.
Yeah, it was a little kickstart.
Yeah. And he was on the residential side, like doing regular mortgages.
What everybody was doing mortgages at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. That was probably, was that like 2006, 2000?
We
Yeah.
used to joke that just bags of money would roll through the door.
Yeah.
Those days.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That
Everybody
was-
was doing. My cable guy came to install our cable in our new house and was like, "Do you need a mortgage guy?" I was like, "Do you do mortgages?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. That was stated, no doc, 80/20s,
Yeah.
all the stuff that led to the crash in 08.
Yeah.
Everybody was writing paper back then because you didn't need to provide anything. You just walked in, you said, I make $300,000 a year.
Yep.
Here's my income, and stated, which essentially, they didn't have to provide any information to back that up.
Right.
As long as the only caveat was the job you described and said you did had to sort of match the salary.
Yeah.
Right. You couldn't say you worked at the Dunkin' Donuts and made $400,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah. So, but you were like part of the downfall.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, you weren't. Your husband was.
Yeah. It was his fault.
You were okay. He took down the whole economy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Danny Dailey.
Thanks, Dan.
You're the best. So you get into, so you don't go right to success, do you?
No, so I went to Coldwell Banker. I figured they were like a bigger, let me go there for some training.
Yeah.
'Cause you really, you were on your own back then. It wasn't, there's a lot more training and things to do now, but back then you were really on your own. So I said, let me try there. And it was the exact opposite of corporate America.
Really?
And I was like, this is how people behave. Literally, the 2 agents had a screaming match in the front of the office. I was like, what the heck is going on around here? This is not how we behave.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too, actually.
So
I love
good.
crazy.
Yeah, you got to have some crazy in your life.
I love it. And then as soon as I hit a certain number, I was off to success and never left.
And how long have you been with Success?
I think like 16 years, I think.
Now, so we met, I'll give you the story as I remember it. I can never remember.
Oh, I remember.
You remember like specifically the first time we met?
Uh,
What was I wearing?
at the-
That's incredible if she actually.
No, actually, in person.
You have a story about the first time we met, like over the phone?
Well, the first time we met, you were trying to help Mike, who was buying my house.
Mike who?
O'Neill.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
And
about
I
that.
hated him.
Yeah,
I wanted to kill him, Dan.
I do. You want to kill me?
Yeah.
Why? What did I do?
You kept sending him back and saying, go ask her this. Go ask her that.
Oh, I was doing my job.
No, you weren't, but I'm not even going to get into what you're saying. Tell her you shouldn't have to pay that. Tell her, oh, you gave her your house to list too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were working all the angles.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, buy my house. I'll list your house. Yeah, I don't think I was happy about that.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
And we went to
But
the
they were
closing.
you lived on the same street as my parents for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time we met was at the closing?
No, because Marlene came. Marlene was doing closings.
Oh, that's right.
then,
She was doing closings
Yeah.
then.
and she was sour too.
For those that don't know, Marlene is my wife. She was what?
She was sour there too.
Oh, yeah. Well, she didn't want to work. Of course she was sour. I sent her to that closing. She didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's, she holds a grudge. When
I
that-
remember texting Doris being like, is this your sister? She's
I
like,
know.
"No, it's my sister-in-law."
I know. And Marlene's so sweet. I can't believe
really
she
is.
acted like that.
No, she's so cute.
She is.
She is. Little tiny thing.
So I don't even remember that. We really started working together with the whole Brockton group.
Yep.
So the Brockton group, which I think I mentioned in the opener here, was five guys, right? There were 5 of them.
Either 4 or 5.
And
too many.
there was too many, and they were trying to flip a house, and Kristen was working with them as their real estate agent. You weren't a broker back then.
No, I'm still not a broker.
Really?
I've taken the class, but I just don't feel like taking it.
But are we going to get you in trouble here?
No, it's because it's under Steve.
Oh.
It's fine.
Because are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. You want to take a time out and check? Or no, you
No,
good? All right. I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
No, you're not. I just have to go take this stupid test.
Take the test.
I know.
You could probably teach the class.
Done. Never mind.
I know. But you can plan a party and come do the podcast, but I'm not taking that test. Too much liability.
Probably right.
So the long story long is we met through a group that was trying to flip houses, and we figured out pretty quickly that they couldn't do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't going to make any money doing it. There was too many of them. But that connection is Matt, who I met at Putnam.
Really? Matt Gregory.
Mm-hmm. That's how I met those guys.
So Matt Gregory was I would say the main guy behind Matt, and Matt Bissett were the main guys behind the Brockton group, and the one that you met was through Putnam. I thought you guys were lifelong friends.
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
Wow. You guys had a lot of inside jokes and stuff back then.
Yeah, so we were.
I always felt left out when it was the 3 of us. I know.
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, this beep beep.
He was
You gotta
so.
beep that out.
I'll never forget. I think he was like, "Oh, we're gonna use this attorney. His name's Dan and Jerry." And I was like, "Absolutely not, guys."
As an app. So
Quickly learned you just need to fight back with Dan, and then everything works out great.
yeah, right. Push back. I am a pushover. But before that, you're in business for how long?
Few years, actually. When was that?
09. 2010 maybe.
So, I was working at Brown Brothers, I think, at the time. I went back. So after when the market crashed,
Yeah.
Daly's like, you need to get a job.
But that would have been 08, 09.
Yeah.
And then I opened my law firm in 09, so it's probably closer to 11.
Okay.
You must have came back at that point.
I was
real
still
estate.
doing real estate, but I worked 4 a.m. to 1. So then the rest of my day was
You worked at
real estate stuff.
Brown
Brothers.
doing what?
Offshore banking.
So you worked from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then you'd pick up from there and do your real estate thing.
Yep.
Thereafter.
Yeah, they loved when I was on my computer on MLS.
I'm sure they loved that. Looking at houses and trying to find,
I'm busy.
buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
So how many, over the course of your career, how many real estate transactions have you been involved in? Ballpark. You don't have to have the number what do you think? I mean, you sell a ton of houses.
Hundreds.
Thousands.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
How many houses a year do you sell? Ballpark.
Between, average is 40.
So 40, and you've been at it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't always 40.
No.
But you've had years where it was way higher than 40. I mean, you were cranking.
Not really way higher. It was, that's a lot of houses.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people sell that many houses. 40.
Do you hear that like a little humble brag? That's a lot of houses.
It's a lot.
Not a lot of people sell that many houses.
Yeah, they don't.
Kristen Dailey, Success Real Estate. If you want to sell your house, call her.
I'm going to smack you.
I know. This was like a daily
Every day.
when we were working together.
That was fun. The flipping that was, I miss having people to scream at every day.
Yeah, so the story goes, and this is why in my mind I said Realtor Plus earlier, because I started flipping houses. So we had the Brockton group. I had my law practice. The Brockton group fizzled. I was like, okay, I can do this with the help of Kristen, because she was bringing in, she always had all these leads, and she would, most realtors would bring you the deal. They would, get you to the closing table on the purchase side. They'd sort of set you free, and then they'd kind of check in periodically, and then they'd kind of float back when the thing was ready to
drop it back and they'll laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Wait for you to drop the sale right? Because you're buying it. They're gonna get a rip on that. Then they're gonna call you every once in a while and be like, hey, how's it going? Did you get the?
When's it coming?
Yeah, when's it coming back on? When's it coming back on? And then you give them the listing because that's the right thing to do, right? They found you the house. You give them the listing on the back end. That's how they make their money. Kristen was not like that. Kristen was like day to day, by my side, going to pick up, if we needed furniture picked up or if we needed whatever picked up, she would go to Home Depot and be like, I'm going down and I'm going to buy the knobs for the cabinets, right?
All the tile, everything. Picked it all out.
Picked it all out.
Because they needed a girl. I mean, you could walk into a flip and know that it was a guy who did it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Want.
So, but you could have easily not done that.
Right. But I liked it.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah. I love it.
So that was the real driving force behind it.
Probably part of it.
You also knew there was some money there.
And I liked yelling at everybody.
Yeah.
How many of our contractors quit?
All of them.
All of them.
That's why we stopped flipping houses, because literally every single contractor we ever hired quit. We will
call Dan and he'd be like, what'd you say to him? I'm like, I didn't say anything except that he's not doing his job.
Yeah. I didn't say anything except that he sucks and his work's terrible.
Except that
and he's
done right.
And he's off the job and I'm bringing somebody else in.
Yeah, he's fired.
Literally. Yeah, it was. We went through a lot of them.
Yeah.
But she worked tirelessly. Were there any other fix and flippers that you were doing that for?
There a couple.
Yeah.
More that they didn't require the same hand holding.
I feel like that's a shot at me. I'm not sure though. Like when I listen back, maybe it'll be clear that you just took a shot at me that I didn't really know what I was doing.
No, but that's what I was doing every day. Like you were doing closings every day. So it was, it worked out for everybody.
It did. And she was essentially my boots on the ground. And then I would get a call and ask for money or whatever. And I'd have to go over and write a check, or make a decision and then we teamed up with Steve Littlewood, which is a whole nother story for another time.
Still my buddy.
So let's back up though, because I don't want to monopolize the conversation about our relationship. What's going on with your kids? Where are they? Who are they? What are they doing?
Oh gosh. Well, Tim is my oldest. He's got a job now working at like a job placement. Seems like a lot of kids his age doing that.
A recruiting type job. Is he the one that he went to California for a cup of coffee, or he went somewhere for a cup of coffee, right? And then he came home.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, he tried to spread his wings a little bit, though. I like that.
Yeah.
And now is he back in Hanover?
Yeah, he's in Hanover.
That was not. Yeah, he left on like a day's notice, right?
Actually, it was more like, anyone know where Tim is? I haven't seen him in a while. Like, oh, he's in California. Oh, good. Okay, this is great.
But he found his way back home.
Yeah, so he's back here now.
How old is he?
27.
Okay. And then who's next? Donovan?
Donovan. Kid's hilarious. Like your friend's Teddy Kennedy.
Oh, he's Teddy Kennedy?
Oh, he's Teddy Kennedy.
Amazing trait to have, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just like walk in a room and everybody loves you. And
because he'll talk to anybody.
So what's he doing for work?
He's in college still. So, right now he's going to be a senior at Westfield.
Okay.
Criminal justice major.
Does he want to be a police officer?
Well, he really did for a long time. He even did like
Tough
the state
job.
police camp. I know, it's really hard.
And stressful for the loved ones.
Really hard right now, I think. If I had to guess, Danny and I both think he'll be in a sales job.
Really?
Most likely, yeah. So he is loving life, staying down in Falmouth and working at Shutters.
Because she has a house. She has a house in Falmouth.
Yeah. We bought a house in Falmouth a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no big deal.
So
sell 40 houses a year. Buy houses in Florida. In Falmouth.
We basically bought him a cave house. He spends more time there than anybody.
I hear you down there a lot. You got a little neighborhood down there. I get my dirt on you. You got Rizzo next to you. Yeah. So this year's been tough. I've only been down there. You got people having parties down there. You're showing up at parties. I get the reports.
People having too many parties up here. Too many grad parties.
Well, that's almost over though. I hope yours better be better than everybody else's.
Oh, it's gonna be a rip.
Yeah.
Donovan. So he's working at Shuckers with which is such a cool place in Woods Hole. The kids love it. This whole place is run by like 20-year-olds.
Down there just partying
Yeah.
and
Working and
meeting girls. And
no, he only has a girlfriend.
oh, he has a
so-
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Sorry, Donovan. I
Yeah.
don't want to get you in trouble with all the ladies down
He
there.
did. Jeez. So
I know, we just blew his cover, though. Now everybody, I mean, all the people that listen to the show now know that
all
Donovan,
50 people. No.
50 to 60. Jeez. I'm going to go on the 60 side.
Yeah. Yep. We'll double your number story.
That's right. You got a big following.
I do actually.
Yeah, I know. You're going to post it on all your social media. You think you're playing with an empty chair over here? There's a reason why I call the guest. I mean,
That is one of my favorite sayings of yours.
oh, really? Playing with an empty chair?
Yeah, when I first met your wife, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. And he was like, what do you think, I'm playing with an empty chair?
I remember once I was like, she's so tiny, she's so cute. He's like, she keeps it tight.
I also love how our first compliments are, oh, she's so tiny. She's such a peanut.
She is.
I know. Is that a compliment?
I
For
think so.
a woman.
If somebody said it to me, I'd be thrilled. Instead, my
Same.
sister-in-law is also Kristen. They call her Little Kristen.
Oh,
so I'm like,
man.
we call her Chicago Kristen.
Right. Because by inference, you're big, Kristen.
Exactly.
And you're not big by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm not
You're a
Little
peanut.
Kristen, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
she runs marathons and stuff. She's earned it.
Well, yeah, that's a grind. Running a marathon
Yeah.
is a grind. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
wish that on my worst enemy. No, I don't even like to drive a marathon.
No.
26 miles.
It's really far, actually.
Yeah.
Get to the Cape. And then Nora.
To the Cape.
Nora.
I'm like,
graduated
unbelievable. To the Cape.
To the Cape.
To my Cape house down in Falmouth.
North Falmouth, yeah.
Wow.
I had to not be too far away so I can,
Get back if you have to get back.
Yeah.
But you're a master of working at home from your years at Putnam Investments,
Yeah.
right?
Perfected it.
Yeah.
And then Nora's just graduated. She's
What's-
going to Arizona.
Really? How do you feel about that?
It's going to be really difficult. She's basically an empty nester. And
Yeah.
She's like,
Far away.
yeah, she's like my little right hand.
So when I asked Kristen to be on the podcast, she was in the car. So she calls me. You were driving. And I'm like, just throw the podcast on and take a listen to it. So she listens to it for like 10 minutes, takes a snapshot of Nora, who's in the passenger seat, out cold, passed out, sound asleep.
She loved it.
I'm like, that's incredible. I put her right to sleep. That's how bad this podcast is. You could actually hear her when,
Yeah.
when I said, put the podcast on, you could hear Nora go, ugh,
Yeah. She goes, no.
no,
No.
not listening to that. What does she want to listen to? Like her music or something?
I guess. I don't know.
My kids just put their they're not even in the car with me.
Yeah, those things drive me crazy with the noise canceling.
Yeah.
I don't use them myself, but Nora, talking to her and she's just ignoring me. Finally, I'm like, I have to like whack it out of her ear. Like,
And then it
"Hear me?"
falls out of there. And then I know they all use them.
Yeah, they can't hear anything.
So you're having a big party and then she's moving away.
Yep, took her and a bunch of friends to Aruba. That was supposed to be like their graduation party, so not having a party, but we had to go to Aruba because we did that for Donovan. And then
Do you like Aruba?
I love it.
It's too windy.
That's what I love about it.
The wind?
Well, it's not hot.
I know, but it's for someone that likes, you're a big tanner. You were a big tanner.
I'm a big luncher and happy hour.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of that down there.
Big
I like it.
drinker at my Cape house. That's what I'm all about. Throwing grad parties that
I do.
I
sound
don't
like a
invite
idiot.
my friends to until the last minute. Okay, I'm going to put it
I
out there.
literally booked it. Like we were at another grad party and I might have had a couple too many glasses of wine. And Nora's like, "Mom, you did it for Donovan. You have to." I'm like, "Fine, whatever. Now, what day do we have left? What day do we not have a party?" She's like, 29th.
Oh, she
Great,
knew.
Fine.
She
was,
knew.
like,
She played you like a fiddle.
She does.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about being invited 2 days before the party.
I mean, most people were invited 7 days, so you're not doing too bad.
All right. I'm definitely showing up.
Yeah, you can come. Chris
I'm
and
definitely
Teresa will be
coming.
there. Yeah.
I'm definitely coming.
Marnie might too. Well, she's still on the Cape, but
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
she can't afford the Cape like you.
she's in,
She can only go to
she's killing it.
Marshall. I know.
She's killing it right now.
I know. Well, she's in a good market in Duxbury. There's
Yeah.
big numbers down there.
Yeah, she's a good kid.
You don't get into Duxbury.
I can't trust. I mean, can't step on her toes.
Yeah, you got to stay away.
Yeah.
So, what's next then for you? After everybody moves out, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? You going to keep the Hanover house?
For now,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Curl up in a ball and cry.
Oh. That's just, you see,
I don't know.
all
We'll
these
see.
years of you yelling at Nora, you really loved her. And does she know that you feel like that?
Yes.
Oh, you've told her.
I don't yell at her. I don't yell at her much. I saw this. This is exactly my life. Like, I think Tim spent 2 summers grounded when he was in high school, like 2 entire summers. This one is like
Imagine how bad that would suck.
this. Yeah.
Can't leave the
I mean,
house.
he had like a girlfriend, so she's come over all the time, so it wasn't.
That's
really
not really
that
grounded.
bad,
Oh.
but he couldn't go out.
Oh, sorry. You can't go out, but all your friends can come over here.
No, just the girlfriend.
His girlfriend was grounded.
Yeah,
His girlfriend was grounded.
she was too.
She must have been miserable. I have to go to your house again.
Yeah.
Ugh, drink wine with your mother and swim in the pool.
Yep.
That's just a terrible
I don't
life.
even know if I had a pool then. And then Donovan was like, I was a little, stricter with him because he's all over the place. Like he has a bunch of different group of friends and different groups.
So you had to keep your thumb on him a little bit.
And then this one, just like, forget it. I think COVID changed everything. Nobody has any rules. It's like the land of lawlessness in Hanover.
It's like that everywhere.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is right now.
So Annabelle, she's 16. She goes to school in Cambridge, and as a result of that, we introduced her to the train. And now she thinks she can go whenever she wants, wherever she wants. She's like, I'll just take the train. Like, well, hold on a second. It's okay when you were taking the train to school or home to school. Now you're taking the train to like all over the place. And then the Uber bill.
Oh, I'm intimately familiar with
Oh
the Uber
my
bill.
God. Uber
Uber, DoorDash.
and DoorDash. You should sponsor, Uber and DoorDash should sponsor this simply because of how much money I spend on those 2 stupid things.
Sometimes Chipotle will come to the door, and I'm like, or for DoorDash, Chipotle. Didn't nobody wanted to ask me if I wanted anything? Okay. 10 minutes later, someone else in the same house had done the same thing, and here comes the second.
Come on.
Like, how much did that Chipotle just spend $75 in fees?
Yeah.
Did 2 trips. You 2 couldn't talk to each other across the
And then
hallway.
ask me if I want a taco bowl.
Nobody
I'm
asked.
dying for a taco bowl.
I want a burrito bowl. Nobody asked me. Not both of them.
Because they're upstairs with their headphones in.
Yeah. And across the hall, they didn't even ask each other. They
On your credit
said,
card.
enough of this. I can't have
On your credit
yeah,
card.
Yeah. Everything. Their Apple Pay.
Oh, Apple Pay. That's the other thing.
I'm
So
like, look at all these charges, Donovan. These aren't mine. He's like, Mom, they're not mine. I'm like, that says Westfield Liquors. I know that's not mine.
yeah, you're the only one that lives in Westfield.
Yeah. Wasn't me. All right. Yeah.
Amazing that he's in there using whatever is he old enough?
He is 21 now.
Okay, so he's using, they don't even care who's on the credit card.
No, it's Apple Pay.
Oh,
Just
that's right. You hit
nobody
your
even
phone.
looks anymore.
That's right. You use your phone. Yeah.
I'm like, take my card off there now.
I got to tell you, that's pretty liberating because I do it at the gas station. It's pretty liberating.
Oh, so does he.
Yeah. It's pretty liberating. I like the Apple Pay. So how many houses did we flip?
I don't know.
And okay, that's
like-
she doesn't know anything over there.
I know. Was it like 10?
It was probably 10 or 12.
Yeah.
What was your craziest story? Because I have mine that I think was the craziest issue that we ever dealt with.
I think we had a few.
We did.
I remember one day they were taking a chimney down in one of the houses, and the chimney fell and smashed through the garage.
Yep.
That was one.
That was a good one.
I mean, aside from me screaming at everybody.
Well, do you remember when we had the house in Pembroke? It was down by the
Yes, this
ponds.
is the craziest story.
So we buy this house. I buy this house. Did I buy it out
Just
of?
telling someone this story.
Did I buy it out of foreclosure? Or
Yeah.
did I bought it out of foreclosure? So I buy this house. It's a little shithole down by the pond. We fixed it up nice.
Yeah, it was a nice house.
Yeah, it turned into a nice house with a nice porch and
Big lot.
big lot down by the ponds in Pembroke. You had access. You could go, boat or whatever you wanted to do down there. And we go to the closing table, and we're getting ready for the closing,
Title.
and title comes back. For those that don't know, title is when you sell a house. When you buy or sell a house, you hire a lawyer, and they go to the registry of deeds, and they pull title. And what that means is they essentially see what liens are on the properties, what issues there are there easements, are there, whatever they are, right? Are there entitlements, whatever. And, usually it comes back and there's it says that the person you're buying the house from is the owner and they have a mortgage with Citizens Bank and maybe they have a second mortgage, right? And maybe there's, some undischarged mortgage from 1,000 years ago that you got to deal with. But all of that is fixable. So I get a call from whoever was handling closing at the time, and they say, yeah, your house is on 2 lots. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Awesome. So he's like, yeah, the company only foreclosed on 1 lot.
And the house sits.
So I'm like, oh, what's the big deal? He's like, well, the lot line runs through the kitchen.
Oh, right.
So I'm like, okay, so I own this house, but I really only own half of the house. And the lawyer's like, yeah, that's exactly right. You only own half the house, and the other half is owned by the prior owner who got foreclosed on. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, what's our fix? And he goes through this whole myriad of fixes. We can go to land court and we can petition to correct the foreclosure, and it's going to take, whatever it's going to take. And I was borrowing money at the time, and
you don't want to hold on.
I'm like, I don't want to hold on to this thing for a year. I'm like, so what's the other option? He's like, well, you can go find the prior owners and get them to sign a deed for that other lot. They actually own the other lot. It wasn't properly foreclosed on. So you and I ran around like crazy people.
I was background checking everybody. I'm like,
background
this
checking.
might be them.
We end up finding them.
Yeah.
We find them. One, did you get the husband's signature? I got the wife's signature. I remember going to, what's the school right across from Gallo Rink? Cape Cod Regional High School or something.
I thought we went to like Bryantville for somebody else's, like a pizza place.
We went to a pizza place and the guy didn't show up.
Yeah.
The guy didn't show up. Then I went to a Dunkin' Donuts in Middleborough. The guy didn't show up. We found her on a Saturday morning. I drove down there. Her son was taking the SATs, and I met her in the parking lot and had her sign the deed to the over to me, notarized it. Then we went and somehow found the husband.
Yeah, I forgot.
And neither of them asked for money.
I know, that's what we're afraid of. We're like, all right, how much is this gonna?
Yeah.
What are we gonna need to offer them? Like, they could have just held you hostage.
They absolutely could, and I would have written them a check for $20,000 or something. So if you're out there, sorry, you didn't play that right.
I was gonna say, don't.
I know it's too late now.
The story.
It's way too late now.
Yeah, that went as smooth as it could have gone. That was really bad.
That was bad.
Yeah, I learned a lot from that one.
Yeah,
like check the title.
Yeah, well, check the foreclosure docs.
I am a ninja at the Registry of Deeds because of all of these crazy things now.
But that's so again, it goes back to being like a Realtor plus, right? There's not a lot of realtors out there that can navigate. They might all go to the Registry of Deeds and try to figure it out, but there's not a lot that actually have the skill to navigate the Registry of Deeds effectively. There's not a lot of realtors that would hold your hand going down the line and literally going to Home Depot and buying tile and loading it up into the car and delivering it to the site. These are all things that Kristen did when we were flipping houses. And I was, I was practicing law and I was doing a little bit of everything, but that was the big difference. Yeah. And you just kept finding houses.
Yeah, it was easier then.
It was easier then. It's hard now. Yeah. Do you have any flippers that you work with now?
No. Like, I mean, I think I have a few that I could call if I found something good, but and everybody's a little picky. Yeah. Well, then everybody became, everyone thinks they're a flipper. So then there's that, which is how we get here, right?
Right. That's how. So here's this. I don't know if you saw. I mean, she speaks with her eyes. It's very impressive, right? So before crowd lending was crowd lending, we used to borrow money from a couple of different sources, some hard money, some real true private money. But Kristen was the nudge that started me thinking about getting into this business. Now, Chris, my partner, then brought the idea full circle, but Kristen was always talking about hard money, be a hard money lender, be a hard money lender. You should be a hard money lender. You should get into hard money lending. So every time I call her, the first thing she says is,
well, I have a different version of this.
Oh, really?
A little bit. So Dan's office was upstairs so one day, eventually I go and I open my own office in Hanover
on Washington Street.
Dan, the whole building was being renovated. So Dan and Paul went upstairs.
Paul McRae, who's been a guest on the show.
So we spent literally every day together.
All the time.
Fighting.
Yeah.
Laughing.
Does your internet work? Because mine doesn't.
Here's my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, here's my Wi-Fi password.
Actually, I think you're on my Wi-Fi the entire time you were there.
I probably was.
Those listening to them fight, like it was just great. And then
We had a blast.
and then the breakup was awful for all of us. But then,
Well, we didn't really break up.
no, we didn't. No, I was sad. It was sad.
She's talking about when Paul and I broke up.
It was a change in my life because that was we went through a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
We worked together for a really long time.
10 years almost.
Yeah, long time.
We were like work husband and wife.
Yeah, literally. My other Dan.
Yeah. The other Dan.
Sometimes I would text my Dan thinking I was texting him. Like Dan's like, right? My Dan's like, get it together. Then, so we talked a lot. So I'm upstairs one day, and I had just seen something on the internet. So I said, you know what's that was like GoFundMe and all that was. I was like, you know what's gonna be the next big thing is crowdsourcing money for like this. Swear to God.
True.
Swear to God.
True.
3 weeks later, he's like, tells me this story. I was like, you gotta be effing kidding me right now. I'm like, what are we doing? When are we starting? What am I, where's my office? What are we doing?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm going with my buddy Chris tomorrow. And do this.
See you later. That's not, I didn't say
Every
that.
day or every time we talk, yes, I do say, are you calling because my like royalty check's gonna be in the mail? Like, how's my business plan?
Yeah.
My business idea going?
What, need my wiring instructions?
Yeah.
You need my wiring instructions for my royalty checks?
I don't see a check in the mail.
But it was, the timing of it was,
It was funny.
it was funny. The timing of it was funny. But we did. We talked every day and we made some money together.
Yeah.
We had a good run.
And Paul left, so it all kind of worked at this kind of.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh no, he didn't want to come. I don't remember.
Crowd lending. We started crowd lending in 2015. We didn't make our first loan until like 2016, and then the big breakup, as it's known in the community, the real estate community.
In the Nudge podcast.
The big breakup.
It was. It was widely talked about.
Oh yeah.
It was.
It's
a very small world.
Yeah, and it's even smaller when you're on the South Shore and you're really, and your network is big, but it's the people that you're kind of doing business with is small. And Paul and I didn't agree on how it should end.
It was a disaster.
And we let each other know.
I think they had a fist fight.
I think we covered it, but he moved out. We weren't talking. He was carrying his furniture out.
He was remember he kept the neatest stuff.
Oh yeah, nothing could ever be on his desk. Anyway, we're still friends now. He was on the podcast. He helps out crowd lending.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
It did.
Yeah, except for you're not getting your royalty check.
Can you believe this crap? I came in. I'm like, I love my new office space. Looks great.
It's nice in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
I love my new office space.
Which one's mine?
But it was 2 years that it was, we started it and then crowd lending and Nigerian Associates were running parallel. And then I closed Nigerian Associates in 2018. So it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
Actually, it was to the end of 2017. I did my last closing in March of 2018. So it's been a while.
I was like, who am I going to talk to every day?
I know. Who do you talk to now?
Well, ever since COVID, I spend a lot of time in my office, at my home instead of my office. Although I just had a flood in the office, so it's currently being renovated.
Does it get a lot of use?
No. Well, I would always think that it doesn't get a lot of use. Remember, I came to you, I was like, I'm going to open my own office. And you were like, if I can give you any advice, don't.
Yeah. It's a lot of overhead.
Yeah. And then when the office flooded a month ago, I kept getting calls have you seen what's going on in the office? I'm like, geez, maybe a lot more people go in here than I thought they did.
Oh, so people do
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Plus, I think you need that visibility.
You do. And they need a space to land.
They need a space to land. It's So how many agents do you have working out of that office?
16.
Wow. How many are female?
A lot. Most. I only have one guy. Just one.
Do you think that's a problem?
I have two.
Do you think that's a problem?
No. I don't.
I don't know.
You guys bailed on her.
Yeah.
I wasn't a real estate agent.
He left me.
I
do have to say I went to a Christmas party or something, and Ryan Morgan had a party at Scarlet Oak. I was like, who are all these young guys that are all these real estate agents now? Lots of guys getting in the business.
Well, again, I think it goes back to what you said when we talked about people writing mortgages, right? There was a stretch where anybody could sell real estate, right? The last 3 or 4 years, I mean, it's jumping off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got a lot of people get into the game.
Yes, so many. And it's
right?
kind of a disaster.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And it's amazing. So I would always, I didn't understand the value of a real estate agent until we started really cranking on flipping houses. I mean, I saw it a little bit from the lawyer side, but it would always be filtered by the time it got to me. But the difference between somebody that knows what they're doing and someone that doesn't is like, it's very important.
There's this whole trend right now with some other companies, I won't name them, but they have,
Compass.
No, not Compass. You take the listing.
Redfin.
You take the listing. I don't think I'm supposed to say that.
We'll cut that out.
Okay. You take the listing or you get the buyer, write the contract. After that, it's gone to the transaction coordinator. Then it's gone to this person. Then someone else is doing the smoke inspection. So they don't know how to quarterback their whole deal. So when something goes south. I mean, I had one agent just tell me when I was trying to get some clarification on what was going on with the financing, and she was like, "Well, I don't get involved in that." I'm like, "How do you not?
Right.
How do you not get involved in that?"
So you come from the school, and so do I. Like, if you have a deal, you're like, okay, I'm gonna take care of this deal. Yeah. I'm gonna rub the deal. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, but I'm gonna because you know why? Because I want to get paid.
Yeah.
And I'm not letting some moron that doesn't know what they're doing screw it up.
Right.
I got to get paid. So you got to make sure the mortgage is in place. Anyway, there's real estate agents that don't know what they're doing they're a dangerous person.
There's a lot of pieces to it, and the difference to your point of a lot of people coming into the business, and anyone can sell a house. Anyone can.
Do you see how mad she got when I said that? Like she's ready to reach across the table and smack the headphones off my head.
The difference is when I have 14 offers on something. The difference is I can see some of the red flags from the beginning.
Yeah.
Someone who's not a real estate agent or who's not in it full time every day because things are literally changing by the week. Every week it was something new. That's where the experience is needed.
Is success using any of the new technology that's coming out as far as, like, no?
I don't know. Like what?
I don't know. I feel like you should know. I thought that was like a really good question. I was like, oh, here comes a great hard hitting, like, listen, Tom Brokaw style question. Are you using any of the technology to further your...
So I feel
like the deposit stuff. Like,
we have Deposit Link.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that.
Deposit Link.
Yeah.
Jay Rooney.
Yeah.
Jay Rooney, Deposit Link. You are now on the block to sponsor. Everybody needs a nudge. I'll call Jay Rooney. I'll get him on this show. He'd come on in a minute.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
For a long time.
Yeah. He can talk too. Handsome as the day is long.
Yeah, handsome.
Yeah.
All the Rooneys.
Yeah. There's like 11 of them from South Boston.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot. They're all involved in hockey in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, Jay Rooney, Deposit Link. That's the next sponsor.
Yeah, it's cool. Deposit Link's great, but they just technology for paperwork. Like, thank God. I remember my first real estate transaction. I called the guy. I was all nervous. Like, I have an offer. He's like,
fax it over.
No, he goes, meet me at the Friendlies at exit 13. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Meet me in the parking lot at Friendlies. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, who has time for that?
Well,
sitting getting signatures at 9:00 at night.
Yeah, that goes back to Mr. Rogers trying to get my wife to come down to the place in Nantucket. Yeah, meet me at Friendlies.
Meet me at Friendlies in the parking lot
at 8:30.
I'm like,
right at dusk.
This is weird.
I'll have you sign in the back of my van.
I wish I could remember who that was.
Creepy Joe.
Yeah, Creepy Joe, their old realtor. Yeah. But
I know now it's like DocuSign. You get it done.
We couldn't do the level of business that we do. Never mind, even like my agents every Monday, Tuesday, they're like, okay, we're putting an office out, and there's a lot of that, like reviewing all their stuff. So thank God everything's online for that. So that's good.
But Deposit Link doesn't do that stuff, do they?
No, they're just
money.
Just move the money back and forth. But you have to, you have to have people. Companies keep trying to come in like, the Redfins and trying to make these things automated. And there is always going to be people who are comfortable buying and selling real estate themselves, but there's always going to, it's the relationship business. Like if you do your job well, they're going to understand that.
Well, there's so to me, because of the nature of real estate, buying and selling and all the money that goes into it, it's so fraught for fraud that when you start automating too much of it, I think you got a problem.
There's so many attorneys now that won't do wires.
Yeah, I got burned on a wire. But that's
That was
just
scary.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. So I do think there'll always be.
There's always going to be a need for.
But if you're out, you need to have someone that knows what the hell they're doing all the way through.
Yeah.
Start and finish.
So many times my clients like, I don't know how you do your job. They're like, I hate everybody. I'm like, well, I mean, kind of do too. But
Well, they're all hateable. They all have hateable faces. You want to punch them all, right? You're like, oh, you suck. You're a loser. No one goes to work before 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock. They all got to go to the gym, take their dog to whatever they do with their dog, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know. And I never hear from a lawyer before 3 o'clock. Like, and all of a sudden, it's like a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going out. I've been working all day. It's 3 o'clock. I'm having a drink.
Yeah. And they're all, the lawyer, and I know because I am a lawyer. I was in court all day.
Yeah.
I was in court all day. And I'm like, no, you weren't.
You were on the golf course.
Yeah.
And now you want.
Well, I'm not going to throw my brethren under the bus. Okay.
Well, I know where you were. Every Wednesday.
Oh, Jesus, giving away all my secrets.
I don't know now where you are. I don't see you every day.
I know, it's sad. But now you can come on the podcast.
I'll be back next week.
Oh.
You can't get rid of me.
Rupia's all excited over there. She's just happy to have a woman in. She's just happy to have a woman.
Come in tomorrow. I'm gonna be on the Peloton in the gym. Don't worry, I really won't. I don't even use the one in my own house.
Well, Kristen, thank you for coming in. You did a wonderful job, even though
we didn't do any of the nudges, but
we covered some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go back?
No, I don't.
You had.
I'm ready to
Good.
Wrap it up.
Again, another guest that interrupts my close. Unbelievable. What is it with these people?
So rude.
They're all rude.
So rude.
All my friends are rude. I'm going to have to, I don't know. So listen, I'm about to do my
Sign off.
My sign off.
I won't interrupt you.
Okay, but we did cover the night. I just want to make sure we're staying on point with the task that is this podcast.
It's hard to stay on task with.
Listen to me. We talked about.
We have a lot to talk.
We talked about how you got to Braintree, right? The nudge that was there. That was your father. Someone stole the speakers. You had to get out of the house. Then we talked about how you went to Putnam. Then we talked about how you left Putnam. You left Putnam because that bee told you couldn't work at home. You didn't want to drive to the end of the driveway, right? We talked about how you got into real estate because you were creeping on all the open houses. So don't tell me I didn't do my job, okay? Because I did it.
I meant we haven't said the word.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Kristen Dailey, thank you for coming along. Success Real Estate. If you're going to sell a house in the South Shore, call her. If you have any issues, call me because everybody needs a nudge. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
You're welcome.